Shalom, welcome back to the sequential Midrash Rabbah series. Today we are in chapter 15, and it begins with a verse that sounds simple. Hashem God planted a garden in Eden from the east, and he placed there the man whom he had formed. The Midrash slows that sentence down. It asks why the verse uses the fuller divine name, Hashem God, just for planting a garden. Planting sounds ordinary, but the Midrash says that a garden is never ordinary. A person who plants has to think ahead. Before the shoot even breaks through the soil, someone already has to know where it belongs, what ground it needs, how it will grow, and what purpose it will serve. So when the Torah says that Hashem God planted Gan Eden, the Midrash hears deep planning. This was not random beauty. It was a prepared world. The trees were not imagined as little seeds tossed into the earth. The Midrash pictures them as shoots that God uprooted from elsewhere and replanted in Eden, already chosen, already suited, already carrying meaning. That leads to the verse in Psalms, "The trees of Hashem are satisfied, the cedars of Lebanon that he planted." The Midrash says those trees are called the trees of Hashem because God himself placed them in the garden. And when it speaks about the cedars of Lebanon, it also hears the Bereishis Hamikdash, because Lebanon can mean the holy temple. Even the trees of Eden point toward holiness and service. Then the Midrash turns to the words, "a garden in Eden." Is Eden the larger place and the garden a smaller place inside it? Or is the garden larger and Eden one region within it? Rabbi Yehuda says, the garden is larger than Eden. Rabbi Yose says, Eden is larger than the garden. Each one brings verses. Each one has a way to read the river that comes out of Eden to water the garden. At first, that sounds like geography, but it is more than a map. It is a question about how we imagine paradise. Is the garden the great surrounding reality, with Eden as its inner point? Or is Eden the broad spiritual world, with the garden as one concentrated place inside it? Rabbi Hanina of Zipori eventually brings a verse from Isaiah that leans toward Rabbi Yose. Zion's wilderness will become like Eden, and her wasteland like the garden of Hashem. The wilderness is bigger than the wasteland. So Eden seems bigger than the garden. Then the Midrash reads the word Mikedem. Usually we translate it as to the east. But the Midrash also hears before. The garden was prepared before Adam entered it. Some traditions even describe Gan Eden as having an existence before the visible world was fully complete. At the very least, the garden was ready before Adam arrived on the sixth day. That is a powerful idea. Adam's place was prepared before Adam's work began. The reward existed before the labor. God's salvation was already in motion before the human being even stood on the earth. Adam looks at this and says, in the language of Psalms, God works salvations in the midst of the earth. Before I rose from the ground to serve Him, my place was already waiting. Now the verse says, and He placed there the man. The Midrash hears more than simple placement. Rabbi Yehuda says, it means God elevated Adam there. He made Adam like a king over creation. All the creatures were in Gan Eden, and Adam was brought in with dignity and authority. Rabbi Nehemiah reads it differently. He says, God persuaded Adam to enter. The image is a king who prepares a banquet and invites a special guest. That means Adam did not simply stroll into paradise. He had to be brought in. He had to be convinced. Why would Adam need convincing? Some commentaries explain that Adam sensed how great Gan Eden was. It was not just a beautiful place. It was a place of higher holiness. And higher holiness means higher responsibility. A person can be afraid of a place that is too holy because he knows he may not live up to it. But God still brings Adam in because even if the stay would not last forever, the experience would change him. Paradise would leave an imprint. That also changes how we hear Adam's later expulsion. The Midrashic tradition is not only speaking about punishment, it is also speaking about mercy. Once Adam falls, staying in Gan Eden could become dangerous. A more demanding place can be a blessing when a person is ready, and a burden when he is not. God moves Adam to a lower place, not because God stops caring, but because the next stage of repair has to happen somewhere Adam can survive. The Midrash also connects Adam's entrance to the merit of Abraham. Adam, in a verse from Psalms, is described as recognizing God's counsel from afar. The Midrash hears that as Abraham, the one who would come from afar, from the east, and repair what Adam damaged. So Adam is brought in not only as an individual, he is brought in with Jewish history already folded into him. Even in the first man, the future of Abraham is present. Then comes the phrase, there. God placed the man there. The Midrash says that word hints at permanence. Adam was meant to remain there the way the ark had its resting place in the Holy of Holies. But that permanence depended on Adam remaining in his original state. Gan Eden was not meant to be a passing scene. It became temporary because Adam changed. The verse then mentions two trees, the tree of life in the middle of the garden and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The Midrash asks, in what sense is it called the tree of life? It answers that this tree spreads life over all living creatures. It is not just one tree among other trees. It is a source, a channel, a center of vitality. Rabbi Yehudah Bar Lai says its influence travels a journey of 500 years. Another teaching says that all the waters of creation gathered under it, and from there spread out into the world. This is not ordinary botany. The tree of life is the life force of creation, and the insight developed by the commentaries is that the tree of life also points to Torah. Torah is called a tree of life because it gives life to those who hold on to it. A person who immerses himself in Torah becomes shaped by Torah. A person who supports Torah also becomes connected to that life. The tree of life spreads beyond the scholar. Its roots and branches nourish everyone who helps that life continue. Then the Midrash turns to the tree of knowledge. What tree was it? The Midrash does not give one neat answer. It gives several, and each one teaches a different kind of lesson. Rabbi Meir says it was wheat. That sounds strange because wheat is not usually a tree. But the Midrash says the wheat of Gan Eden was different. Its stalks rose tall like the cedars of Lebanon, and therefore could be called a tree. Rabbi Meir's proof is human experience. A child does not know how to call out father and mother until he has tasted grain. Bread awakens understanding. So the tree of knowledge is connected to bread, to mind, to the first movement of human intelligence. The Midrash then moves into a discussion of the blessing over bread. One opinion emphasizes the future, when God will bring forth actual loaves from the earth. Another emphasizes the past, when the world of Gan Eden could already produce finished bread. Either way, bread becomes more than food. It is the symbol of a world where nourishment and wisdom are close together, and where creation is capable of a perfection we do not see now. A second opinion says the tree was a grapevine. The verse in Devarim speaks of grapes of bitterness and clusters of gall. Wine can gladden, but misused desire can become bitter. According to this view, the fruit of the tree of knowledge brought bitterness into the world. The same thing that could have been elevation became confusion and pain. A third opinion says it was an esrog. Why? Because the Torah says the tree was good for eating, not only the fruit. The esrog is unusual. Its fruit has a thick rind, and the rind is a major part of what people eat. So the tree and the fruit are closer together than with other trees. This view focuses on the words of the verse. The tree itself was good for eating. The esrog becomes the best symbol of that. A fourth opinion says it was a fig tree. This comes from the story itself. After Adam and Hawa eat, they realize they are unclothed, and they sew fig leaves together. The Midrash imagines Adam going from tree to tree, looking for leaves to cover himself. The other trees refuse. They do not want to help the one who sinned. But the fig tree opens its door and receives him, because Adam had sinned through it. That image is painful and beautiful at the same time. The very place of failure becomes the place that offers covering. The tree connected with the sin becomes the tree that helps Adam begin to deal with the shame. The Midrash even asks what kind of fig tree it was. One sage calls it the daughter of 7, because through it came the 7 days of mourning. Another calls it the daughter of wailing, because crying came into the world through that act. But then the Midrash ends with a completely different voice. Rabbi Azariah and Rabbi Yehudah Bar Shimon, in the name of Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi, say that heaven does not reveal the identity of the tree at all. Not because the answer is impossible, but because the Torah is protecting Adam's honor. The proof comes from a law that seems far away. If a person sins with an animal, the Torah requires the animal to be killed. The Midrash asks, what did the animal do wrong? Its answer is that the animal is removed so that people will not walk through the marketplace and point to it saying, that is the animal through which so and so was punished. If the Torah is careful with the honor of the sinner's descendants, how much more careful is God with the honor of Adam himself, the handiwork of God? That is an astonishing ending. After all the opinions, wheat, grapevine, esrog, fig, the Midrash says, maybe the Torah hid it on purpose. Maybe we are not supposed to turn the tree of knowledge into a spectacle. Maybe the holiest reading is not which tree was it, but look how much God protects a person from disgrace. So chapter 15 gives us a whole spiritual map. Gan Eden is planned before Adam. It is planted with forethought. It may be larger or smaller than Eden, but either way, it is not accidental. It is a prepared place. Adam is brought in as royalty and also as a nervous guest. He is meant to stay, but only if he can remain aligned with the place. The tree of life spreads vitality through the world, and the tree of knowledge becomes a mirror for how wisdom can be bread, desire can be wine, holiness can be an esrog, and shame can be covered by the fig. And then, at the deepest level, the Torah refuses to embarrass Adam. It lets the tree remain hidden. That may be the most practical lesson in the whole chapter. Spiritual knowledge is not just about finding secrets. Sometimes it is about knowing when not to expose. God can teach us through revelation, and God can teach us through concealment. The garden has visible trees, but it also has hidden mercy. A human being is not only judged by what he eats, where he falls, or what he loses. He is also protected by the way heaven covers him afterward. Gan Eden is the place where Adam is elevated, tested, lowered, and still guarded. That is the world the Midrash is showing us, a world where every tree has meaning, every word in the verse carries weight, and even after failure, God is still arranging a path for dignity, repair, and life. Shalom.